Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
Sure. My name is Sabrina Osso from Osso Safe, and we are in New Jersey on the East Coast.
Wow. What part of New Jersey, by the way?
It in Bergen County, uh, close to New York, close to Manhattan.
Cool, cool. And can you tell me a little bit, or however you want to begin, about your past leading up into your present?
Sure. Um, I've had enough therapy. I've been in and out of therapy for quite some time to not be shy about saying that I am a survivor of violence. My father beat my mother on a regular basis. My mother would beat me. So I know firsthand how difficult it is to live in those types of environments. And it was very difficult growing up. But my love it was and still is dance. I'm
Mhm.
a dancer, and I auditioned. I wrote my one woman show called Home Sweet Home question mark. Um, and I live close to New York, so a lot of dance classes. I took teachers that really propelled me to catch up on time that was lost, really. Uh, and I wrote this one woman show where I play different women being abused. She goes to her good place. That's where the dancing comes in. But then she's pulled back into the terror of violence. The show ends really strong, really empowering. And I did a lot of research for the show, Kimberly, and I could not believe the statistics that I was educated on. And I said to myself, wow, I need to make this into a business, a bona fide business with products and services that could really help people. So that's how Oso Safe was born. And so that's my past into my present. And for the future, we intend to make Oso Safe national and global, where we make respect a required standard in all homes, wherever you live. So I hope I answered the question.
You did well. Tell me about Also Safe. Tell me, the people want to know, well, it deals with trying to help reduce violence in different public places. So what do you go in and actually do? How do
Yes.
you
I'm sorry, how do you I
inspect this area and know whether it has violence in it or not?
uh what we are doing at Oso Safe, I just want to point out we're not a charity, we're not a nonprofit. We respect all of the nonprofits and the charities that deal with domestic violence, but our approach is more on the preventative side. And we strongly believe at Oso Safe we're not going to solve this problem by being a nonprofit, a charity. People need to pay for this service so that way they take it seriously, and it's a mandatory standard, and you don't get away with beating up your kids, beating up your spouse, beating up your date. No, we make respect a required standard. So this is a blanket, if you will. It's not about, oh, is there violence here or not? It's about, okay, let's get your property also safe certified. It doesn't matter if there's violence there or not. This is a blanket education for everyone, and a blanket package that applies to everyone. It's just the standard now. Kind of like whenever you're in an apartment or in your home, you have heat, hot water, electricity, central air. You may have concierge. You have everything up to code. Well, this is an added feature. Safety in terms of no abuse, no violence, no chaos, no dysfunction, it's about respect and making this into a practice. So we are introducing into the real estate industry our Oso Safe certifications for properties. And this entails for the property owner to buy The Osso Safe Home Sweet Home package. It consists of a policy, a seminar, an app, and therapists assigned to the property. So just to give a brief definition for all those four things, the policy basically states, okay, I'm giving you a safe space for you to live, but you as my resident, as my tenant, and I want to say that we want this to propagate over all residency, whether you rent, whether you own, whether you have a mortgage or not, it's not going to matter. I give you a safe space, but you are not going to act in any way, shape, or form abusively. Otherwise, you, the abuser only, gets immediately evicted from the premises. And we go into full knowledge knowing that that would be the consequences. So there's no surprise. And it's your choice. You don't want to live here? Fine, don't live here. But our intent is to make every property Osso Safe certified. So you either change your ways or you're going to be homeless. Remain homeless. As far as we're concerned at Osso Safe, you belong nowhere. You belong in no residency, in no four walls, unless you practice safety, respect. So no violence, no abuse, no chaos, no dysfunction. And I want to say, as part of the policy as well, it states in there that children have a say on who they want to live with. If mom and dad are both abusive, so let's say uh, a lot of the time it's maybe one parent that's abusive, okay? That's when you enter the second level of Osso Safe certification. The third level of Osso Safe certification is when both parents are abusive. Well, the child is going to dictate where they want to live. And we find out on the first level, who do they feel safe with? And Kimberly, I'm sure you know, kids know who make them feel safe. They know who respects them. They know who makes them feel good and empowered. Is it an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend, where we're going to get that kid to that individual? You're not going to get to beat your child in an Osso Safe certified property. It's not allowed. So that's the policy. So we are introducing all of this into the policy. The second component, as I mentioned, is the seminar, the Osso Safe Home Sweet Home seminar. Everybody gets educated, adults and children alike, on facts, statistics, warning signs, definitions of abuse, the difference between abuse and discipline, what constitutes a good relationship, what are the warning signs of a bad relationship. So there's no surprises. Oh, I didn't know that if I pull my partner's hair, that constitutes abuse. Now you know. It's a requirement. And I want to also say in the seminar, we are introducing our children's book. It's a staple in all homes that are Osso Safe certified. And I could go more in detail about the book. We use the book as a tool to lay the groundwork for kids and adults alike. The difference between respect and disrespect, abuse and non-abuse. And I say that you kids have a say on who you live with if mom and dad are abusive. And we are introducing the Osso Safe Kids Cheer. And it goes like this. And in the book, I explain it. I want to live where I am Osso Safe, and I am Osso Safe with, and they get to fill in the blank. Is it an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend? And we realize, Kimberly, kids could lie, right? They're scared. We get it. But we plant the seed in their mind that you don't have to take this on yourself. If you're not safe at home, we're going to watch. And it's not about spying. You know, and I'm sure you know this, abusers, abusive parents especially, they could keep their poker face on for so long.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Do you work closely with law enforcement and or the Chamber of Commerce in your area?
Yes, yes, they are a part of this whole equation. And we realize, and I should know, I'm a survivor of violence. You
Mhm.
know, my father and my mother, they would put that face on, oh, everything is okay here, everything is fine. But give them a couple of hours, a couple of days, they're screaming and yelling, the fights would go outside. So you know, wow, those kids, that's why they were kind of like, yeah, yeah, I'm safe with mom and dad. But you know, just by their body language, that something is off. So we wait until something happens. So with the seminar, everybody's educated. Even if you're safe, it's good to know this information because you never know. Let's say you're single and you're going out with someone and you think that things are going along fine, but because you are in an Osso safe certified property, wait a minute, that's a warning sign. He's telling me how to dress, he wants my money, I he's isolating me. These are warning signs. I better break it off because I learned in the Oh So Safe Home Sweet Home seminar, I deserve better. I deserve to be in a good relationship. So that's the seminar. The third component,
Before you go any further, do you have any validity in the court system to, if they're fighting over the child or they're about to have their child taken, you go into the court system and say what you noted, calling the police, telling them, giving them the seminars and everything? What's your intake?
yes, with the courts, well, I want, and I could talk about just the courts for like an hour. The courts are horrendous. Child Protective Services is horrendous. Uh, we intend where OSO safe certifications for properties, you won't need the courts. Everything gets resolved right in residency because we make respect a standard. So the only time that you're going to need the police is if the abuser doesn't leave, but you have the paperwork to back it up. Look, you signed. You you knew that this was going to happen. So this is already preset, if you will, in the policy, in the seminar. Um, so because the courts, as we say at Oso Safe, they have to catch up to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Essentially, they have to follow our model because right now it's horrendous. The courts, the laws, the judges, the child protective service agencies, they make horrible matters even worse. So we are making respect the standard where you won't need the courts.
Good.
And we are working as fast as we can to get the courts to follow our example, our standard, our model, if you will. And I wanted to point out that the technology component also will help out in the courts if it gets to the courts, because I hired a software company to design an app that will detect violent like movements. So you get an alert as the property owner. Let's say you have 10 units. Oh, I just saw you beat your spouse in unit 2 and you beat your spouse in in the unit 10 that I have. Well, this is grounds for eviction. You knew that this was going to happen, and I have to protect my other residents, my other homeowners, if you will. So you got to go, and I have to keep the maintain property reputation. So this app takes care of the technology portion of it, and it eliminates the he said she said factor. And right now it's being updated to give voice and choice to children even more, where they can actually easily document, dad just beat me, mommy just beat me, and it's recorded. So this is the app. The fourth and final component are therapists assigned to the property. So in an OSO Safe certified property, you are required to check in with your therapist once a month. Is everything okay? Do you feel like anything is looming? Just to give an example, well, Mr. and Miss Therapist, you know, our kid came home with bad grades. We don't know how to handle this. We're not going to verbally disparage our child. We're not going to beat him up or her up. We know better. We are held to a higher regard, a higher standard in an OSO safe certified property. But help us through this because we really don't know how to handle this. So
How
all of
many
these
how many
components
people
working together
how many
makes
people
for better residency.
work that?
It's preventative versus waiting for an episode of violence to occur. Then police come, bad news travels fast. And then who leaves? Your well behaved, safe, good paying tenants. We're flipping that script, Kimberly. I'm sorry, you were talking and I
I
was
know.
talking at the same time.
You know what? I think you're so eager to get your story out. That's why I'm okay with your talking. But you're very educational and very smart, by the way. You invented a lot of good things. My question was, how many people use Oso Save, Miss Oso?
Yes, this is fairly new. I have been marketing this for quite some time, introducing this into the real estate industry because I'm a real estate agent. So I have a lot of connections, and it has been challenging. I'm not going to. It's about changing people's concept about your home environment. So this is all fairly new. I have been improving on it, but it's ready. It's ready. We are ready to go, and I do have some houses beta tested in our area, like where I am, and it's working out well. I mean, they feel safer. They feel like, wow, I would rather raise my children in an OSO safe certified property versus one that isn't, because we are making respect a required standard. So this benefits everybody. It benefits a single person, a married person, a divorced person. You have kids, whatever age those kids are. Um, and we are making this a standard. I can't stress that enough. And this has to be a practice. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Can I help you by because I'm supposed to be getting into real estate soon where I'm becoming a person that flip houses. I'm the middleman between. I'm not going to be in real estate deep, but you know how you become the middleman where you all sign an agreement to flip a house like 10 people or 2 people. That's what I'll be doing. And I'm gonna take a class where it's gonna be like a bunch of people there. I'm gonna sign up for these random classes and integrate with these people and tell them about Sabrina also safe and see if they want to take it. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Because I'm doing it this week.
That that is fantastic. And you're in California, correct?
I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Oh, Seattle, Washington. Okay. Absolutely. That is fantastic. Yes, I love going on the podcast that the host has connections with anything in the real estate capacity because that's our focus. If you think about it, Kimberly, everything that happens in terms of home violence, it happens in the home, in some type of residence, whether you live in a townhouse, a co-op, a condo, a single family home, a multifamily dwelling, a two-family home, a villa, a mansion, a mobile home, a dormitory, a senior community. It happens in the home, so it has to be resolved in the home. And we intend to make every property OSO safe certified. We will be all better off for it, and this is good for business. You make people safe, you make children safe, and this is better residency, better livelihood, and you have a good life. And we're not saying, you're not ever going to fight with your spouse or your significant other. We're not saying that. Of course there's going to be disagreements and there's going to be conflict, but it should never cross the line of verbal, physical, sexual abuse ever. And with our certifications, you learn that and you practice that, and with the therapist assigned to the property, you have assistance every step of the way. So that way, if something happens, you're not fumbling. Oh my gosh, I gotta relocate my kids. This is embarrassing. What shame. Now I have to call the police. Everybody's gonna know he did this to me, she did this to me. It's all on the preventative side. So I hope I answered your question. I would love that. We're open to speaking to your your connections and doing a presentation, whatever it takes.
How would you get a therapist to Seattle though? Like, how would you connect that way if people took your offer?
Yes, the therapists in that area, we work with therapists in the area. So the therapists become also safe certified, like they are taught the also safe certification, if you will. So like they're part of the standard as well. So it would be therapists assigned to the property in Seattle, Washington. So we locate therapists nearby. So it's not like, because that would work out better versus East Coast, West Coast. But also, I want to say, I have to say, thanks to COVID, if there's one good thing that happened with COVID is that it really put on the front burner the need for mental health. So with therapists, like there's more choice now. You could go on BetterHelp. You could go on. It could be online. It could be via email. It could be in person. So I think your choice of therapists have broadened, ever since COVID. So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, and tell me like and being like I want to do that for you because I feel like it needs to spread the word in a different state. And I also want to do this. I I want to put you a little bit in the paper, like event Seattle Times, talking about what you do and how you do it. So if you have any information, anything about Sabrina Osso, just send it to me. Send it to my email so I can read about it and try to figure out how I'm going to put it in the paper because it's limited to how much I can do. But if I can put you in the paper, so Seattle Times, the people can read about and say, what is Sabrina Osso? What is Osso Safe? And they be like, okay, I'm interested. Like seriously, this is a very good idea. Tell me more about the technology part of it. Looking on your camera or looking on your phone at the father with zero tolerance beating the mother or the mother beating the father or both of them fighting. How is it working now? You said?
It's still being updated.
Okay,
It's still being improved upon, but
that's good.
we use AI, artificial intelligence, and facial recognition to match. So it's not going to pick up like if you're kidding around. It'll pick up more pulling hair, kicking, punching, spitting, anything having to do with abuse, and it'll record before. I believe we have it now 25 seconds and before the event, the violent event, and then after. So that way it gets a really good picture and video of what happened. So like I said, it eliminates the he said she said factor. And this will have many applications because I have received like, oh, can it be used for babysitters or pet sitters or anyone like for home health aides? And both ways, sometimes the patient gets violent towards the home health aide. So not only in residency, like in your home, but in other areas where, you're alone, you're with the person, it's just the two of you, and things can go sour very quickly. So this is our app will detect it. It will record video as well as document, and we're making it where for kids it empowers them even more. Beyond that, I can't really go into much more detail without someone signing an NDA, but that's the summary of the app.
I can understand that. How long roughly has this this seed investment of business basically been going on? How long has the business been going on for?
You mean Osso Safe
Yes.
and building it? It's been, I would say, a good 5 to 7 years now, 5 to 7 years, and I mean, it has been challenging. I'm not going to say, oh yes, we've been welcomed with open arms very easily. And it's like I said, it's more about changing people's mind and getting people to think differently about their home environment, you know. Um, and I want to say that you have the right to be safe in your own home.
I agree.
Period, over and out. So when you put that key in your lock or whatever it is these days, a key card, your facial recognition, you shouldn't feel like you're going to war or to battle or that, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Are the police going to be called? Or my kids going to be terrorized again? It's horrendous. So, and abuse steals your life. So we feel that we are pushing hard to make this a standard and to say, look, uh, let's get your property also safe certified, and we are charging roughly $125 per unit. And it doesn't matter how many people are in the unit. So we made that price to make it more palatable, if you will, to make it more like, oh wow, that's affordable. Like we asked, we did our research, and wow, that's really reasonable. And you get the policy, the seminar, the app is still being worked on, and the therapists are included in that price. So it's a small price to pay for safety, for respect, and you're putting everybody's mind at ease. This is very basic. I mean, it goes even deeper than, you know, you have your foundation in your home. Well, this is it. If you're not safe at home, where are you safe? You know, so we are putting it on the map, if you will, and making this a standard, like a non-negotiable, if you will, respect, a non-negotiable. And this is indeed a practice. So I'm sorry, Kimberly, sometimes I go off on a tangent, but I hope I answered the question. Uh, we are spearheading this new way of living, which really it's how it should be. It's how it's a long time coming, you know. This should have been done ages ago, ages ago. You
So
know, I
basically,
mean, I could
basically,
sure.
basically you're in phase one of this, and you know what you should do, you should say, this is a $600 value, because it is quite, you got your AI technology you got to pay for and disperse towards everybody. You got a seminar you got to do, which is kind of worth $1,000 because you're taking time and doing this seminar. And then you got other things. But if I were you in phase one, yeah, $100. But once you get like 10,000 people and that understand, and sometimes I believe if somebody don't want to go with something like this, it's because they're probably doing it, themselves, because it makes no sense. This is a great idea, a great
Thank
idea.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I mean, yes, as we gain more momentum and people know that we exist, that's why I've been doing so many podcasts and marketing it as best as we can to get it out there. We really feel that this will catch on and people will not want anything less than to be in an Osso Safe certified property. So thank you for echoing that. Yes, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, if you will.
And then another thing you can do, and I'll leave it alone, which is radio advertisement. Then you can call around to advertisement for the TV and get like a 3 minute slot, and or be interviewed for like $500 to $600, just a one-time interview, or maybe continuous, where you on the mainstream TV podcast. You don't go quite as far, but if you're on KSL, which is in Salt Lake City, or PA Live, which is in Wilkes-Barre, PA, or in LA, depending on where you are, or get yourself in a newspaper, however you want to do it, mainstream it. Don't, you're not going to get far, but I think that what you should do is get on mainstream TV. I'm telling you, this is a wonderful idea. I'm not lying to you, man. I used to be abused. And had I had an app like that, or an app that could save me while I'm watching my dad beat my mother, I would be out. I wouldn't have my life just be so messed up like it was.
I agree 1,000%, Kimberly. Thank you for disclosing that to me. I mean, we're basically strangers, so I always like to say when people say that to me, to say, I'm so sorry that you went through that. Too many of us have that common thread, unfortunately. And yes, that's it. You just echoed um, something very huge for me. I said to myself, if I had this growing up, my reality as a child and as a young adult would have been much different growing up. My father would not have gotten away with half the things he got away with. Um, and it's no way to live. So thank you for that. I appreciate the positive feedback. We at Also Safe, we it feels so good to have it mirrored, you know. And yes, we're looking to make this a standard. It's worth repeating, and nobody should go through abuse. Nobody, no, especially children. I mean, you're just to say some statistics. 1 out of 3 women will be beaten or raped in her lifetime. 1 out of 5 adolescent girls is abused by her boyfriend. 1 out of 3 young people will be in an abusive relationship. 5 children a day are killed in the US alone at the hands of an abusive parent under the watch of a child protective service agency, usually. 15 million children witness violence in their own homes each and every year. 1 out of 7 men is abused. 85% of all spouse murderers are male. 80% of all runaways come from violent homes. 324,000 pregnant women go into the emergency room not for pregnant related issues, but for abuse related injuries. I could go on and on. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. You have to resolve it in residency and have people pay for it so that way it actually gets resolved. And and like I said, the we have to think differently about your home environment. Children being terrorized, and I want to say, if I may, and I've been saying this because I have personal and professional experience with this, what I'm about to say. Pornography is a big driver of violence, huge. And yes, there are men that are committing these pornographic crimes, if you will, child trafficking, child rape, child pornography. But I want to say on your show, there are women doing the sex abusing. They are called BDSMers. That stands for bondage, domination, sadism, and masochism. They will stop at nothing to get what they want. And because they are women, they fly under the radar. So they could be living next door across the street. They could be in our PTA. They could be our neighbors in our communities, our societies, our neighborhoods. They do convulsing, revolting, disturbing things on and off camera, and people need to know about it. I've been vocal about it because they are dangerous women, and they rope any children that are in their lives, whether they give birth to them or they date someone that has a child, and it is a recipe for disaster. There is sex abuse going on, verbal, physical, sexual abuse, and the children suffer the most. These are women doing the abusing, BDSMers, and it's all pornography. Um, we're not talking about erotica. Erotica is different. Erotica is about sexual freedom, healthy sexual relationships. We're not talking about that. But pornography, BDSM, it's all adjacent, connected to child trafficking, child rape, uh, child abuse. It's a horrible way to live. And the courts, they turn a blind eye. They see nothing wrong with it. Judges, very misinformed. So thank you for letting me say this because so many people don't know about it, and people need to know that it's both men and women doing the abusing.
Well said. I have another question. Do you have a Google panel or a business page, a Google business thing?
Oh yes, it's Osso Safe. OssoSafe.com. Or if you Google Osso Safe, it comes right up.
So if you Google Also Safe, it's your website, right?
We have a website, OssoSafe.com. So if you Google Sabrina Osso, yes, it comes up as Osso Safe. I'm pretty sure, and it connects to the website, our phone number. Uh, is that what you mean?
No, it's free. It's called a Google panel. You know how I'll show you in just a second. Let me pull up a star. Like let's see, let's just pull up Biden for a second.
Sure.
I just want to show you how you have, and if they see it, they're going to be like, okay, this is legit. More. Hold on for one quick second.
Sure, sure.
You see that on the right hand side, Joe Biden, and it shows when he
Yes.
was born, party, right, and it shows his profile. Well, you can get that since you have a legit web page. You
I
have
believe if
it.
it comes up, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that I have that.
you
I'm pretty
do.
sure. I
Okay,
do. I do.
I didn't see it, but if you ever need it, you have to sign up for a Google panel profile, and it will show where you are located, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and everywhere. And I didn't have one, and I created it. It's free. I just wanted you to know that, but I'm not trying to make it seem like I know more than you, because I know you built this business, and I know that you care about this business. That's why I care about trying to put your name out there for the
Not at all,
children,
Kimberly. I Go ahead. I'm sorry.
for the children's sake, you know.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate the feedback and the suggestions because, we're here to help each other out and to help us go forward and not stay where we are. The point is to move forward and to help as many people as we can and to reach as many people as we can. And so no, I appreciate this. I'm going to check with my web developer because I believe he did do this, but when you say Google panel,
A Google,
I'll have to check with him. And if I don't have one, I'll get one. So thank you.
all you need is your EIN or your formation documents to your business, everything showing your name and your business name. And it's so
Great.
beautiful when you have it. I'm in the process of getting one. I'm waiting on them to approve what I put to them. He would love to do it for you. I know he would, or she, whoever's doing your web page.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'll double check, but thank you. No, I appreciate the suggestions. I'm writing them down.
It's okay. So again, where do you see yourself going in the future with Also Safe? Just I want to know again.
Yes, we, our intent is to make every property OSO safe certified, no matter where you live, and this on the national level as well as global. Um, and we have received a good amount of positive feedback. London, Australia, because I do different podcasts from all over the world, and they said, "Wow, you have to come here with your business. We could use it here." India, uh, I was interviewed, I mean, remotely, but still, like people see the application, like the global application, if you will, and how much it could benefit. We are speaking to mortgage companies and insurance companies where if you're a property owner, you should be rewarded if you get your property also safe certified, where your insurance rates will go down and your property value will go up because you actually care about the safety, meaning the that there's no violence with your tenants or your residents, and that's how it should be. So that way there's a financial benefit to the property owner. They should be rewarded. um, I see also in the future, and I'm hoping more in the near future, and this may sound, our intent is not to sound harsh, but it's to take it to the next level. You have a baby, mother and father have a baby. Well, before you take home this baby, we need to make sure that you're safe at home. So let's get you Osso Safe certified before you take home this baby, because we want to make sure that this baby goes to a safe place, a safe home. Not that you, okay, great, this is how you breastfeed, this is how you burp it, this is how you change a diaper. Well, this is how you practice respect at home. So we're looking to do that also with hospitals in the medical community, if you will. And the other vision that we have is more on the real estate end, just with the National Association of Realtors holding open houses where this is an Osso Safe certified property. Let's educate our buyers, our sellers, the landlords, the tenants. Let's get this just really on the books. And schools are huge for us as well. More where schools have to be taught, stop catering to the parents. You need to be there more for the kids. If the parents are safe, if they practice respect, it's a non issue. But for so many kids, they go home to hell. Hell.
Mhm.
You're there for the kids, schools. So how about getting helping the kids to safety? You don't want to go home? Don't go home. Stay at school. We'll get you to safety. Who do you feel safe with? Auntie, uncle, grandparent, close family friend? That's what we're going to do. So, to really get schools on board with us and not, don't even bother calling Child Protective Services. I hate to sound like that, but I'm speaking from personal and professional experience. We need to get away from the laws, the courts, the judges, Child Protective Services, and really resolve it in residency, in the real estate industry, getting schools on board, mortgage companies, insurance companies, hospitals. I hope I answered the question as far as the near future and further on.
Well said. I hope this takes off. I don't want nothing from it but to help it, man, because this is amazing. I want to thank you. How can the people reach you again?
We have a website, ossosafe.com. We are on all the major social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Uh, YouTube and TikTok are specifically for kids, where we educate on this, like taboo subjects, dating, warning signs, if you're of dating age, what to look out for, what constitutes a good relationship. And we're very open about speaking about abuse, and we empower them. We say on our YouTube and TikTok to also safe. Also safe kids is whether you're safe at home or not safe at home. All children are also safe kids as far as we are concerned, and we're telling them, do not go home. If you're not safe at home, don't go home. Stay at school and say your cheer. I want to live where I am also safe, and I am also safe with and fill in the blank, kids. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to have respect. It's not your fault. You're not alone. So that's on the YouTube, TikTok, and um our children's book is on Amazon. And also I just wanted to mention that
Yeah.
I'm so grateful, I'm so honored. I just received the Her Story Award by the Women's Federation for World Peace just this past Saturday. I was so touched, and it's for my commitment to protecting children from home violence and promoting positive relationships at home. I was recognized. It was so great, from the Women's Federation for World Peace, the Her Story Award.
Wow, excellent. You deserve a round of applause. I see, I went to YouTube while you were talking and I was listening. I see that you are deep within the podcast sector. Yeah, you're out there. That is amazing. And I'm going to try to do whatever I can to help you even more. You deserve it, girl. So, nothing but blessings. Stay on the line for a second. Y'all take care. Sabrina Osso, powerful woman, intelligent, also safe, and y'all take care.